Hey guys, how you doing? So, people have asked me to answer the question, how do you stay motivated? How do you keep going when it's difficult? Because it is difficult. How do you deal with setbacks? And this is a good time to talk about it because I'm dealing with something. I'm dealing with a setback. And so I'm going to just talk about a little bit. It's a little bit disorganized in my mind, and I'm hoping my thoughts self-organize as I discuss this with you. But if it's a little rambly, that's okay. I think you'll still benefit. Yeah, so I had a cold that I got over in January, and then it kind of came back lingering, not like a full blown, but I'm not like 100% normal. I don't mean just the TMS stuff. I feel like there's a bit of a cold. Then you start getting like these doubts. Well, is it the cold or is it TMS? Is my brain trying to trick me? I think it's a bit of both, and I don't know exactly for sure. But I don't have to have that certainty that I know for sure it's pure TMS or if it's a lingering cold because if you're going through emotional stress, you're going to be more susceptible to colds anyway. So in the end, it's still the TMS aspect that has to be addressed. And of course, there's disappointment, there's frustration. Oh, I want to move faster, I was doing so well. I kind of put lifting weights on hold because I want to give my body a chance to just recover a bit more from the whatever leftover cold I'm dealing with. So that's frustrating, because I want to keep moving, I want to keep growing. So that's a little frustrating. But at the same time, I don't want to fall back into the old mindset like when I was, much younger, working out, where go, 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 you must lift more, you must grow, you must this, you must that. That was terrible. I mean, I was making good progress back then, but it was terrible. I felt horrible all the time. I was always like, so I was very unkind to myself. I was never satisfied. I was never happy with anything that I had, and it was just not a good way to live, even though externally it may look like, hey, you're doing well, etc., but it was just not a happy time, really. So I don't want to fall back into that mindset, but I am frustrated, and I have to admit it. I'd like to get back to working out, like intensely. And yeah, just in addition to that, or maybe related to that, is that, yeah, I had been planning to move out and live on my own. Previous to this, I was living with my parents, who are happy to have me in Moscow here, and but I have this fear. There's so much comes up with moving out. First of all, there's this. In my particular case, is I have some difficult stuff associated with like moving and stuff. Just my particular case. Uh, the second thing is any change is a stress. Change is a stressor. That's just how we are. Any change, even a positive change, is a stressor. That's just human psychology. The other thing is, I have this fear coming up. Am I going to be able to handle things? It's like I know that I am, but the fear is there. I am anxious. Am I going to be able to like just run the household all completely by myself without that safety net? Yeah, I will be able to do it, but I have those fears, I have that feeling, and oh my God, is everyone gonna be disappointed if I move back in? Even I have that option. I'm lucky. I don't want to take that option. I'd like to move forward, uh, but it's that personality aspect of I don't want to disappoint people. You know, uh, even though they might not even be disappointed, but it's just how I see it in my mind. Trying to sort of be good, if you will. Yeah, it's a form of goodism. Um, uh, you know, in addition to that, I have other stuff going on in my life that I'm not going to get into, but just stuff's coming up. It's nothing horrible. It's more like reminders and echoes from the past. Some situations in my life that are just so all this stuff has accumulated, and I'm feeling meh, a little bit depressed, you could say. Yeah, I have to just say it. I'm a bit down, a bit blue, and with that, or all that, your body kind of shuts down, and you feel that fatigue, and then and the weather is crappy. We've got it's very cloudy, and it's just mush outside. The snow that has melted, and it's dirty too, and so it's just this brown melted snow. So all of this shit is it's forming this body mind state for me, you know. And I have to deal with it. I have to deal with it, and it's been like this for a few weeks. And I am giving myself a break. That's the first. Well, the foundation of it all is that compared to in the past, what would I be thinking? I would be thinking, okay, my CFS is acting up again, my condition is acting up again. I have relapsed. I don't use that word. I don't have a disease that I relapsed, and I'm not like fundamentally broken. Even healthy people, there are difficult periods that they go through where it's just kind of harder to be moving. So I'm giving myself a break, but I'm keeping in mind the fundamental thing is that I know what's going on. I know why I'm feeling this way. I've just told you the overview. What I'm going to do after this video is I'm going to write about it for like maybe 20 minutes. Just dive into each aspect of it, just to bring it to consciousness. Maybe I'll be able to get in touch with some feelings as I do this. Also, as I write, maybe I'll be able to come up with some constructive ways to deal with it. When you start the process, your mind just starts working as you write. Just ideas come to your mind. Oh, maybe I could try this, do that. So the fundamental thing is I'm interpreting it correctly. Is what it is. I've got some emotional stress. Uh, Maybe also the additional physical stress from the cold, from the virus. There are viruses out there, and they are a stress on the body. But when we are under emotional stress, uh, we're more susceptible to these viruses. So that's a factor, but it's not like some deadly factor. And so I know what's going on. What I'm not thinking is that this is so confusing. Why am I feeling like this? Why can't I just be normal? No, 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 no. I know what's going on, and I'll be able to deal with it. It's difficult. I'm not having fun dealing with it, but I'll deal with it. I'll find a way. I'll wait it out. So I'm gonna give myself a bit of a break with how much stuff I do. So I've allowed myself to put weightlifting on hold for now, and just deal with this transition, and you'll come out okay. You'll come back and you'll be fine. So I'll do the writing thing that I just said I would do. Um, I am going to go through my day as best I can, not allowing myself to get stuck. If I'm sitting here, I made a video recently talking about just do something new. Do something new. When you feel like yourself getting into a rut, getting kind of stuck, and just go to another room, maybe go for a walk if you can. Um, Change your environment, change whether you're doing mental activity or physical activity. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try doing a little work on the computer, like my programming work, software engineering, doing a little programming. But and depending on how it goes, if it's only for a half hour that I'm able to do it, okay, I'll put it on hold right there. I'll do something else. Maybe I'll cook up some rice or whatever. I'll just switch to something different, and I'll just keep doing that. I'll go outside today. I'll meet up with my cousin, go get some food. I already have that planned. So I've shifted down, but I'm not going to just collapse. I'm not going to let that happen. Uh, At the same time, if I feel like I need to sit down or even to lay down, close my eyes, chill out for a bit, I'll let myself do that. And all the different techniques I talk about in this video, if this one is not doing it for me right now, I'll try another one. Maybe I'll stop and turn inwards. There's a video on that technique, and sit with things. So I'll just go through this, cycling, applying different tools. And in the end, I know how quickly this can shift, you know. You can be feeling really bad one day, and the next day you feel pretty good. That can happen. Sometimes the periods stretch out for longer. And of course, if you know what's going on, they shorten. And if you reassure yourself, and that reassurance is not just empty promises and empty words, but because you really do understand what's going on. I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. It's still difficult, but I know what's going on. And that's what's helping me through this. Um, so I have to do my part. This is my path. And this is the path I have to go through. This is my path to recovery. It's not a straight line. It's ups and downs. Um, just how it is. Just how it is. So that's my plan. That's how I'm going to deal with it. And I know it can even turn around. Like after lunch, I could suddenly be, oh yeah, okay, I'm not feeling so down anymore because maybe I've gotten in touch with those feelings. I've processed them. Maybe I've supplied enough reassurance, and yeah, I'm just gonna have to do my part, and I know that sooner or later I'll come out of this funk and I'll completely recover, and it's gonna take as long as it takes. Could be quick, could be slow, doesn't matter. So thanks for listening. Let me know if this was helpful to you. But just to let you know, yeah, I have setbacks. I have difficult days and weeks that I go through. I'm not Superman, but in my mind, I am Superman. So, all right, have a good one.